It kind of saddens me to admit that I've lost faith in the MCU, but this movie just. Guardians of the Galaxy Vol.3. The trilogy is complete, and something about that makes me sad. You gotta understand, I love the Guardians even more than the Avengers. The bittersweetness to all of this is pretty real for me. But I'm so happy to be able to talk about this brand new movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 stars, you know them already. And of course, directed by James Gunn, who my nickname for him is Papa Gunn. I just love this man so much. Here we find the Guardians right where we left them off from the Christmas special. They've settled into their new home on nowhere and are just going about their lives day by day. When suddenly they're all attacked, leaving Rocket in pretty bad shape. The Guardians then venture off to do whatever it takes to save Rocket. And in true Guardian form, you know you're in for quite a wild ride. The movie going in shows just a brief bit of Rocket's backstory, and then transitions into present day in one of the most unique opening sequences, not only of a Guardians film, but also for an MCU film in general. I felt right away that I was watching something unique in the MCU, which is what the Guardians have always been since they were first introduced. Plus, I'm a sucker for a creative title card, and this one was just
nice.
in so many ways, this movie feels more grounded than the previous films. Volumes 1 and 2 both take place back to back in chronological order, and since then, the Guardians have been through a whole lot. They're all in such a different place now. And what I love about that is that it kind of makes me feel like I've grown with them a bit. Now, this movie could have been just like the previous two and still would have been great, but I can appreciate that this movie is kind of saying, no, these are real characters with real stories. And this whole time we've been on a real journey. And with saying that, it really makes the movie feel like its own thing. Plus, seeing certain characters in tough places or in drastically different places really makes it feel like all the things they've been through has been for something. Infinity War and Endgame really changed everything in the entire universe. In an almost effortless way, this movie showcases a small side to that. Now, if I sound a bit biased in this review, it's because these characters really mean a lot to me.
Dance off, bro. Me and you.
This group of characters who are all unique in their own way, all great in their own way, every single thing you love about them is displayed in this movie. They all get their moments to shine. They all stand out. They're all just incredible.
Kick names, take ass.
Yeah, that's right.
And as a whole, this movie just reminded me of why I fell in love with the Guardians in the first place, and why Mantis will always have my heart. The new characters to the mix are great as well. Adam Warlock is in this movie, which first of all, finally he's in the MCU. And though it may seem like his presence wasn't felt enough, it's kind of obvious this movie was just a simple introduction for him. He really didn't need to do a whole lot either, because that's not the purpose of him being in this movie in the first place. We got our simple introduction to him, so that whenever we do see him again in the MCU, we'll see an already established character well into his arc within the universe. It's kind of like Black Panther and even Spider-Man and Captain America Civil War. Not every character needs their full-on origin showcased. Sometimes sprinkled is enough. We also got some new characters played by actors who regularly work with James Gunn, and they're all great. Now, I don't want to hear any smack on directors who work a lot with the same actors. When directors and actors work well together and collaborate well together, why not continue that? Music artists often work with the same producers over and over, but directors and actors continuously working together is somehow a problem? What? When a director knows the actor's abilities and can rely on them to do a great job, then a great result is almost inevitable. I wish I had a microphone I could drop. Sorry. Lost my cool for a second. But then again, you can't really lose something you never have. Now the High Evolutionary is one mean son of a biscuit with gravy.
Biscuits and gravy.
Which oddly enough is something the MCU needs more of. If not high-level threat villains, then at least give us some cruel and evil villains we can be pissed off at for 2 hours. The man just embodies everything that makes a villain great. Like I mentioned, he's cruel and evil, but like a great villain, he believes what he's doing is right. And as an audience, even if you disagree with him, you can still understand where he's coming from and why he thinks the way he does. Now, throughout the movie, you're going back and forth between current events and Rocket's origin. But it just all flows and ties in together so well. Nothing feels random or out of place. His past is such a big part of his present. It really makes both current events and past events work hand in hand so well. Also, all his friends are just the sweetest. I'd go to the end of the universe for Floor. This movie really is the full circle closing in. The Guardians are now taking on a new journey, and as bittersweet as it may seem, it's also such a heartwarming ending. This movie in so many ways plays out differently than how I expected it to, even all the way to the very end. Now, I did get so much of what I hoped for, and honestly more. Again, this may be a biased opinion, but I really do feel like this movie solidified this trilogy as one of the absolute best in the MCU. And I'll defend Volume 2 forever. I love that movie. And I do believe that this movie was the perfect way to end this trilogy. On one end, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was stylistic, action-packed, hilarious, and you already know the soundtrack kicks ass. On the other end, it was dramatic, sad, heartbreaking, but overall, it was a very satisfying and fulfilling end to this incredible journey. The vision of this incredibly passionate director that is James Gunn is as clear as day, and I have absolutely nothing but gratitude to this man for giving us something so special. I really mean that. It kind of saddens me to admit that I've lost faith in the MCU, but this movie just gave me something I didn't even know I needed. It really restored a lot for me. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 gets a 9 out of 10. So how would you rank Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? Let me know down below. If you're not subscribed yet, maybe consider hitting that button and notification bell so you don't miss any future content. As always, your time is appreciated, and I'll catch you on the next one. I have no idea what I'm doing.